What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, Scott from villagesvideo.com, and today we're going to be looking at the Fenney area. We went and took a look over at the trails, which is behind the recreation center. There is a spring back there, so if you've never been there, there's a few cool things back there. They also have otters, so there was an otter sighting. I didn't get any of it on video, but I will show you the trails and all that kind of stuff. There's also some new construction going on to the west of the Fenney Recreation Center that we'll take a look at, and well, let's get into it. We're actually going to start out north of Fenney, headed south. You can see the walking trails there. Those are the walking trails we're going to take a look at later when we actually walk around the spring area. The spring is right there. I think the spring pumps somewhere around 14,000 gallons of water every day when we're actually getting rain, which is pretty cool. There's a cool story about that spring. This whole area here used to be cow pastures, and the cows would wade in there and they would drink from it. It wasn't the best water quality at that time, so there wasn't a lot of wildlife around it, and there was a lot of erosion that was going on, just based off of the water flow and the cows using it as a drinking source. And the other thing about it is that there was actually a pump in it. They talk about it in this nature trail station here, number 6, but they talk about how that spring was being used to water all of this farmland. They had a pump in the spring, and the villages actually restored it and created a nice little area for that spring, and now it's a little preserve. So if you live in the area, you've probably heard the story about the 3 otters, but there are 3 otters in the area, and we were able to see one of them with a fish swimming over to eat the fish in the corner. It was kind of cool. The kids really enjoyed it, and we're really excited to see the otter. It was something different. There was quite a few people out there looking for it. That whole area is kind of dark and it hid a little bit, but you could see when it was up and down in the water. We didn't know what it was at first, and then when it showed itself, it was really cool. Munching on a fish. That area there is a new area to the west of Fenney that's actually coming in. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute, and then I'm going to show you coming up the walking paths and the trails around the spring itself, which I was just telling you about, where the otters are. A lot of different wildlife through that spring area, like we talked about. Ethan saw a snake in there. I did not see a snake, but there's tons of fish, the otters, and word on the street is that there's a few alligators in there as well. That spring goes back into those woods right there. This is the Red and Gray Fox golf courses, which is just to the west of Fenney. They're both executive 9-hole golf courses. And then this is the new area, Warm Springs Avenue and 301, which is right in front of us there. I'll throw an arrow up there for you. And then this is headed towards Coleman, the city of Coleman. I believe that they were going to build a square in this area originally. I'm not sure if they still have that planned or not. I haven't seen anything about it lately. But I know that they had planned on building a square in the Coleman area. So I'm not sure if it's this area specifically or more toward the actual city of Coleman itself. I've done a few videos on this. They've been putting in the propane and water lines, and that's about it for this area. They haven't really started any construction at all other than the water lines. But as soon as those houses start going up, you know how quickly that builds. St. Catherine, we've just seen, like I said, I think it's been 2 weeks maybe since I've been in that area, and they have at least 30 houses up that weren't there before. You'll be seeing a video on that tomorrow. And then we're looping around over Red and Gray Fox, headed back to that spring. This is a view from the west side headed toward the east, and that's the whole Fenney area in front of us. Obviously there's different villages within the Fenney area, but mainly when people are referring to Fenney, that's what they're talking about. And they do have the Fenney Grill at the recreation center here, and then back over toward the spring. This is a really nice area if you want to go walking through the nature trails. The whole Marsh Bend area itself is actually really nice with nature trails, and the trails span the entire way. I'm going to do a series in February where I run 100 miles through the villages on the trails, and we'll do one through each area specifically and do the videos on those. I'm kind of excited for that. So I'll be having shoulder replacement surgery soon. I'm trying to stay active before that happens. Running's about all I can do, running and biking currently, until I get that done. And then I'll add in swimming as well. Back to the Fenney area here, just all the housing areas. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, give us a like, subscribe, comment. We will be taking a look at St. Catherine tomorrow. And as always, we will see you next time.